Hi everybody, Phil from Hybrid Me doing another video on impact screens. I've just finished one on flooring and mats and kind of detailed the different choices you've got for, do you want traditional range mats that you could have one mat that you can stand on and hit off? Do you want to have a firm stance area but have something softer to hit off like the T-Turfs, T35? Forgiving, very nice on the body. If you've got any issues with an elbow or shoulder or joint pain, I think it's a great option for you. The more it gets used, the more soft it gets and the better it feels. However, you end up with this wear pattern. Do you want something that won't show wear pattern but is a little bit more snaggy but will ultimately stand up better to the use? All of these kind of choices that you've got, and there's no right or wrong. On impact screens, there's a number of different choices. Lots of vendors out there providing good quality screens. Hybrid Me offer 3 screens currently, type 1, type 2, type 3. Type 1 is the Archery screen. I'm going to try and compare them again like I did a long time ago in a video. Archery screen has a kind of mesh to it, so light can bleed through those holes. Type 3 is this one here at the front, which I use, which is the kind of luxury, thick, premium material. You know, both the type 1 and type 3 are quite heavy, thick, absorbent screens. Very low noise when the ball hits them, so if it's indoors, absolutely ideal to have one of these. And type 2 we sold, which is a thinner material, very high definition image, you know, as good as type 3 and premium, but it just ended up being a bit more difficult to mount. I mean, the type 3, even without holding those bits and fixing them on the edge, it kind of wants to hang nicely. You know, you don't really have to pull it to get rid of creases. It's that kind of thick material. And that makes it kind of quite easy to work with. The Type 2 has a lot of creases in it when it's folded in transit, and you have to kind of fix it at lots of points. And, you know, you will see other premium screens out there of a similar type where often in the corners there's a lot more pulling. I mean, I've got a little bit up there from the design I've got that I haven't quite got the tart clips exactly right, but nothing like some of the kind of areas in the corners where those thinner materials can suffer a bit. I've made the decision going forward that I won't be selling new type 2 screens anymore. I do have a stock of ones that have been cut. They do have some dirt on them at various points. You know, you could be cleaned up potentially, but they're just going to be available very cheaply if somebody thinks, you know what, I would like to have a premium material that I can just hang either in front of an existing Archery one, or just hang an extra bit of material down the front for extra wear and tear. Or if you're building a screen on a budget, please get in touch. But going forward, I will be offering type 1 and type 3 screens. I don't expect to be offering more. I think type 3 screen is the perfect screen for golf simulation and multi-purpose. So when we're talking multi-purpose, I do some racing gaming. There's a racing cockpit there. Actually, there's 2, but I won't explain why that is. I thought I'd broken one with rage, but I hadn't, so that'll be going on eBay shortly. And we will effectively, you know, when I was using the Archery screen, I did a video a few years back. It's somewhere back in my back catalogue, where I compared the impact screens. I'm going to do that again. I'm not going to take down the whole screen with this design. That'll be a right pain in the backside for me to reveal it all the way back, but I am going to try and hook some up in the corner so you get an idea of what the image looks like, and I'll turn the lights off. But for many people in commercial builds, something like the Archery grade screens can be very effective. They're cheaper, probably about half the price on average of the Type 3. Although they do have that light bleed, they do deliver a good enough image, I would call it. And if you're standing, you know, quite far back, they deliver, you know, more than good enough image, in my opinion. But they stand up very well to the test of time. They're very durable, a thick material. Now, they do end up slightly warping from kind of where the driver impacts. You can almost see, yeah, you can't quite see it, but like a puckering effect in the middle where it slightly stretches over time. But that screen I've had for about 3 years as a screen that I originally used, and then has been backing up material. So, you know, they give a very good durable option for commercial sims where you're mainly going to be using it for golf. If you're going to multi-purpose it for racing simulation, where you have any of those kind of puckering or stretching marks, it can cause issues where you're taking a corner and it almost looks like there's a corner when there isn't. So for racing simulation, it's annoying. And certainly I struggled when I had the Archery screen up, just due to any of the kind of stretching in the material over time. Similarly, if you are going to be watching sports, if you've got any light source behind, then also that kind of rear light bleed can be an issue, and you want that sharper image. So what we've got here is just the golf course being displayed. You know, it looks very nice. I'm going to do what I did last time. This is with lights on. I will turn the lights off now. and then I will run the 4K demo footage, which I've done in a previous video. You know, I really do think this is going to be an ideal screen for most people. I've looked at various types, and I'd be more than happy to do comparisons if I get hold of any other material, if any other suppliers would like me to compare theirs to this. But what we have here is, I'm using a 4K projector. This is an Optoma demo, so again, I always mention that for copyright reasons, I don't want to be done. But incredibly sharp image, everything looks fantastic. And I won't go through the whole thing. Oh, I'll get done for the music. I normally mute the music. I might have to mute it on the video. We will see. I won't have licensing for that. Anyhow, you get an idea for what's going on there. What I'm going to do now is just put a some stair. Oh, someone's getting a free advert of this. Let me skip on. I've done this in previous videos. It might be a little bit jerky just because I'm running Perfect Golf. Let me go. So I'm standing about 4 and a bit meters away from the 4K, from the impact screen. If I go a bit closer, you'll see the image quality is absolutely fantastic. And, you know, I've been using this for the last couple of months. You can see some of the little ball marks there in the middle. You do get that kind of little scuff mark from impact. But I could not be happier. It's a very absorbent screen. It's sold in per linear meter. It comes off of a roll that's 3.1 meters. So anybody like any further information on these screens, please let me know. But please consider that. Now, for those that are wanting to see how does an Archery one compare, I say for golf simulation, commercial, out of budget, durability, great option. If you're going to be watching sports, movies, cinema, and going things like 4K, I think you need to go beyond the Archery screen and look at something a little bit better. This isn't quite working. Oh, it's too slippy. It's too slippery material. I want it to kind of go over, but also fold back. Let's try that. And let me try and hook that over there. Is that going to stay? Yeah, it's not a perfect. Oh, it's going to go again. This is far from a perfect comparison, but hopefully in this corner you'll get the idea. So here we are back at the 4 meter mark. And again, you'll see, obviously don't look at that middle section, top left, bottom right. From back here, you can see a bit of coarseness in the image. So my eyes pick it out, maybe the HD won't. If I go a bit closer, you might be able to. You can kind of see the granular, you can see it now, the coarseness of the image. Whereas on the premium, you know, there isn't any coarseness to that image. And that's probably the one thing you kind of see. But on a big screen, where it's, you know, 5 meters like mine is, at the back of the room, it's fine. You're just going to have a little bit more effort getting rid of the kind of puckering stretch marker, where you won't be able to get rid of it in the middle from the driver if you're using your screen for, like, you know, a year. I don't know exactly at what point that happens. But still a very good option for anybody that's looking at getting something up and running to start with. But if you really want to go that next level up in the quality, then certainly going to the Type 3 screen is a wonderful option for you. I've done a lot of waffling without really providing much. What do I need to do? I won't hit shots, but as I say, they both don't have a lot of bounce back. They absorb the ball and it just hits dead. Probably the Archery screen even less bounce back than the Type 3, but of course it depends how tight you have it. But as I say, both great options for anybody looking to build a golf simulator. Please get in touch and I'll happily provide my thoughts on any of the build options you have. Maybe that's useful to somebody, maybe not. Maybe that's the same thing I did many years back. Can't remember. Bye-bye.